We are live. Countdown is at 4 minutes, boys.
There is music available if you guys want to.
Hundreds of years ago, east of Cormyr laid a prospering kingdom, modest in size but made up for by the quality of life the citizens had. Farmers on the outskirts grew bountiful harvests and were paid well. Art, entertainment, and knowledge were just a few thriving aspects of this kingdom. It was named after the noble founding family Valeria. Centuries passed with peace thanks to the god of protection, Helm. Helm watched over its people and the royal family, giving them tools of great power to protect the kingdom. Known as the Crimson Weapons, They burned brightly in the hands of those deemed worthy. However, a devil corrupted the king, then eventually the queen as well, leading to the death of both of them, as well as the downfall of the great kingdom of Valeria. Descendants of the royal family spread across Faerun, and took with them the 8 crimson weapons. One such descendant started a guild, aptly named the Crimson Blades. Centuries later, Alvar Valeria searches out these weapons, which were lost to time, and hopes to one day start Valeria anew. We follow the journey of new guild members: Franklin, the Goliath Bard; Uraquin, the Dragonborn Fighter; Phoenix, the Arakokra Ranger; Lord Hatteron, the Elven Wizard; and Bongo, the Goliath Paladin.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Thursday night edition of Area of Effects Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Tonight we're picking up where we left off from last week. Hatteron had successfully brought back Ravengard from the Grand Cemetery while Ravengard had located Torm's Helm, the relic that he was out to locate. Upon placing it on his head, began to have visions and pain and seemingly a psychological battle within himself. Upon returning to the High Hall and dropping off Ravengard, Franklin and Hatteron had stepped outside, and while Bongo was going to attempt to cleanse the altar and prepare it for the ritual of returning, Franklin had removed, using a magical item, a bag of beans, had planted one and was pleasantly surprised when a little small patch of mushrooms have grown up on the ground. Plucked those and kind of bargaining with the RN Jesus, he rolled a natural 100 on the bean table.
I got some beans!
Yeah. From this bean he planted grew a massive beanstalk, hundreds of feet in the sky, within Avernus. And at the top of it, it led to another plane of existence. Curiosity got the best of Franklin as he climbed up, and Hatteron just stayed at the base, just watching his friend do what his friend does all the time. Franklin began to climb this relatively large beanstalk, and eventually came upon an entity announcing themselves as Tiz from the Feywild, which is where this beanstalk had led to. After some conversation and some music and dancing, this Fey creature stole Franklin's name and any memory that Franklin's name was Franklin, and he bestowed him with a new name as Mordecai. Tonight we pick up with Mordecai standing on one of the leaves that is protruding from the beanstalk, about a couple hundred feet up in the sky. Now we go back into the High Hall. Uraquin and Bongo are downstairs with Dimmick, I believe, preparing to perform this ritual. Let me see. Let me pull this up. At the behest of this strange woman, Fira, who seems to be like the de facto leader of this, I guess you can call it resistance. Uraquin, what are you doing? What would you like to do?
Is Yurkon's still kind of getting over sickness, still trying to get all the dust out and making sure he's all right. Probably making sure everything's set for the day, tools, weapons, food, making sure everybody's doing okay, helping anybody they can with food and whatever they need.
Something you do take note of, the rations you have, and you all have, snacking along your trip, you notice that they have like a bitter taste to it. Since arriving in Avernus, one of the circles of the Nine Hells, the rations you had brought taste bitter, bland, still edible, but they're warped almost by this plane of existence. Even regular water in your water skins kind of have like a like swamp water smell and like a tangy taste to it, but nevertheless still drinkable. Just wanted to kind of note that to kind of give you guys an idea of like how this plane of existence and has affects things on a almost physics level. Like the rules of physics and laws of like reality are different here in subtle ways. Yurquin, you are within the main crypt, like you said, kind of preparing for the day and stuff, and kind of keeping tabs on things. You can see Bongo's kind of just came down the steps from basically cleansing the altar, so that way the ritual can be performed. He walks up to Fira and has like a word with her, and he turns to you. And Bongo says, for the ritual of returning, we need a powerful symbol of courage and self-sacrifice. And Fira says, perhaps we can use the great sword of the unknown hero at the bottom of the stairs that come down to the great crypt. Can you grab that?
I suppose, yeah. Sure. And Yurkon will just walk out of the room and
Hold on. You
head
think
that way.
you think this is a good idea after the last time you just wandered off and came back with a curse?
No, I'm gonna go with him. And you can see Bongo's picked up Ravenguard's body.
All right. Well,
Kind of squirming.
Hold on. Before you go, I'm gonna cast guidance on the two of them. So let me see where are Dimmick, Uraquin, and Bongo. Did I do that right? Let me see. Bongo, Uraquin. I'm gonna cast guidance on the both of you here. Don't know why it didn't go to someone else, but whatever.
Owned.
Here, I'll put it in this thing. Once before the spell ends, you can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to one ability check of your choice.
Cool. You're casting that on Bongo and Yurquin?
Yes, it can be rolled before or after making your ability check, so keep that in mind.
Nice.
Alright, well, if you're gonna go, be safe. Don't touch nothing strange.
You're not coming up with us to help, or staying down here?
Well, you didn't invite me, but if you invite me, yeah, I'll come.
We didn't invite you to the Nine Hells, but you still came to help.
Well, I guess I'll guide myself as well. I'll give myself guidance. All right. Let's giddy up then.
Bongo starts up the staircase. Mordecai, you're sitting or standing upon a leaf, and it's as if, to your perception, you just had a lovely interaction with a creature from another plane of existence. Like, you have no idea anything had kind of occurred.
So I don't recall any of what just happened?
Well, you recall like the interaction, but as far as like losing your name and stuff, your name's always been
Mordecai?
Yep.
do I remember him asking for a letter at least?
Yes.
Okay. Huh. I was kind of look up at the opening. Is Tiz already like long gone, or am I like watching him
Yeah.
leave?
Um, I would say as you look up, you see him like at the top of the beanstalk, kind of hop off to like the edge of what would be in the Feywild this giant gaping hole in the ground.
Hmm.
So he kind of jumps out of sight, or he's in the process of doing so.
Huh. All right. I'm gonna go up and peek my head up over the edge.
You want to climb up? It's probably about another 15 feet up
Yeah. Yeah.
to where that kind of that change, that gate, we could call it, is.
Yeah. I want to take a peek. I want to take a peek up over the edge of where the gate is.
Okay. Take a moment and climb and uh, Hadron, make a perception check.
Shoots me down with a eldritch blast.
Very nice.
Hit me.
You see at the top of this beanstalk, you can see the clouds kind of rolling through the portal in the sky in the Feywild. But then you see Mordecai begin to slowly crawl up the beanstalk as if he's a sloth. And he's just, it's extremely slow from your perception. And he's just moving and climbing. And this is what you're seeing now. You're sitting here, it's been a minute and he's only moved about 5 feet.
So is it just perception that's making me like the distance is making it seem like he's actually moving slow, or is that like not an issue for me seeing him?
I would say make
You know how I'm asking that?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Make a wisdom check. Just straight. Okay. It's hard to tell from this angle if it's just because he's so far away, or if something else is affecting him.
Do I feel anything different?
Nope.
No, I'm just moving at a regular pace.
You're moving at a regular pace. Your climbing speed. You're moving up.
Oh,
You eventually get to the point where you can finally see over this strange portal, and you can feel the air density and pressure change as your head kind of crests through this invisible barrier. And it's almost like the same sensation of like your head coming out of water. The air has a crisp, sweet, almost sweet taste to it, like there's incense, but it's a strange, indescribable scent and flavor that you can't pinpoint. Somewhere between like a dragon fruit and a lime. There's a strange sweetness to the air. You can see there's a few different types of trees that exist out here in this main area, because you're looking around in the Feywild at this point, and you're not in a jungle or wooded area. It's kind of like a field, but there's plenty of vegetation around. And the sky has a strange kind of this cerulean blue tint to it. It's kind of like this very vibrant, punched color blue. Even the clouds have these strange shapes that seem to evade any sense of realism, or they kind of defy the laws of the mortal plane physics. The trees you're looking at, the bark itself is like this very, very vibrant green color, and the leaves are this crimson red. You see smaller types of fauna, like what you would assume to be some sort of avian type creature, no bigger than about 6 inches, kind of flying around It has two beaks on it, and they kind of fly, and you can see there's a flock of them, almost like a family of them, kind of fly about. Um, the grass is kind of a darker color blue, and it kind of leads up over to like a crest hill. But this area here looks like it's just more or less almost like a very pleasant prairie almost.
I'm gonna climb
And you
up.
don't see Tiz in sight.
I'm gonna climb up.
So you got about 15 feet from the stalk that you're kind of on, that you'd have to jump to catch onto the other ledge to kind of, or on the ground to kind of pull yourself up.
Oh God. I am 9 feet tall.
Yep.
So
make
an additional like 10, 15 feet.
Yeah, it's like 15 feet away from the beanstalk. You know what I mean? Like you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
could,
Yeah.
well, let me think. If you're grabbing and reaching, it's probably about 3 feet away from your grasp. If you're like grabbing onto the beanstalk and kind of leaning over, you know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Try to get your handhold. You definitely have to like get a little bit of a push off to kind of catch yourself.
Yeah, I want to try to get up there.
Just make like a acrobatics check. Yeah, easy enough. I mean, you'd have to roll like a natural one to miss this. It's very simple. You jump and kind of easily kind of pull yourself from the other side. You're now standing. The grass is kind of beneath your feet. It's kind of like I said, this blue color grass, and it's just a very serene setting you're in. It's almost like a dreamscape.
I want to look around for any animals.
Okay, make a perception check if you're just gonna kind of hang out and kind of look around.
From where Hadron is standing, does Mordecai just kind of like disappear, or is he still like somewhat visible? Like, how does that appear for someone who isn't up there?
He's still climbing up the beanstalk for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Your perception check, is other than the birds, you see some far off, six-legged, what you'd equate to like a deer-like creature, kind of walking about.
I am going to cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
That's for 10 minutes.
Okay. It's about probably 40 feet away from you, kind of like behind a couple trees and like a vegetation type bush that's gonna get this more muted purple tone.
Okay. I'll just casually walk up, not like fast paced or anything, just like curiously. And I'll say like I don't know, something like hello friend. Could you tell me where we are?
Make a animal handling check.
Scheisse.
Scheisse.
Scheisse. Ugh.
As you approach, trying to kind of go quiet and kind of slow to not spook this creature away, you step on a branch and it snaps and then it slithers away, and
the branch.
The deer-like creature looks at you and just goes, "Ah!" and then takes off running.
Oh shit. Well, all right. Well,
and then you hear from near your feet, "Watch where you're fucking walking."
Oh. I'll look down. What was it? Who said that? What?
it there's a strange snake-like creature that has um, bark-like skin and scales on its back. That's probably no greater than 3 feet long.
Oh,
It's got this nice, like dark brown.
oh gosh, was it you that I just stepped on? Oh,
Yeah, you motherfucker.
are you okay?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna lean down and I'm gonna expend one of my lay on hands charges. Like give him a hit point back. Is that any better? Is that
What are you doing here?
well,
Thanks for the rub job. I appreciate it. What are you doing here?
yeah, no problem. Well, you see, I have these beans, and it seems that I planted one, and it sprouted a large stalk up to wherever we are. Um, where are we?
This is known. Some people call Fate's Forest. We're on the edge of it.
We're on the edge of Fate's Forest. Ah, I don't know where that is specifically.
This, well, this is the material planes kind of mirror world. It's got, this known as the Feywild. Just watch yourself out there, else you're gonna get stepped on like me.
Oh, are there creatures big enough to squish me?
I don't know. Size and perception down here in the grass level's hard to tell.
You know what? That's fair.
Everything's big to me, dog.
That's fair. That's fair. Um, do you know if anyone lives close by here?
Me, I live here, and you just fucking stepped on me in my front yard.
Well, I mean, I apologize. Do you need more rubbing? I can give you more.
No,
rubbing.
I'm good. I'm good. I get my rubbing elsewhere.
Okay. You know, I'm looking for.
And you see, he kind of coils up, and he's kind of like in this, almost like this cobra-like stance, where his head's kind of like turned towards you, and he's kind of up on his belly, and this illusionary type, little tiny, like 2-inch big top hat just appears on his head.
Do you have a name, friend?
The name's Theo.
Theo. That's a fine name. My name is Mordecai. If you were interested.
Nice.
Um.
Franklin just came through here a little while ago. He's heading back into the forest.
Oh, he's a nice guy. I just met him actually.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's good at songs and shit.
Speaking of Franklin, is if I were looking for help in a place like this, where would I go? Who would I talk to? Like,
I don't know. I'm a snake man.
yeah. Well, it was worth
I
a
mean,
try.
yeah, it's tough. I mean, there's a lot of mystical creatures and shit up in here. It's kind of a trip. You just,
Huh. Well,
it's nice being on the ground because, nobody really bothers you unless they step on you. But yeah, I hear things from time to time. But other than that, I don't really get to experience a lot of shit because I'm just down here eating rats and shit.
eating rats.
Well, we call them rats.
What? Are there any around?
No, I just ate earlier.
No. Oh.
They usually go away when they hear the screams of their brethren as I consume them.
Well, that's one way.
Because
to put it.
the reason why I do that is I eat him ass to head, so that way he gets to at least have a little bit of extra time to see what's going on. You know what I mean?
Good lord.
I'm not, I'm not evil. Man's gotta eat.
Man's gotta eat for sure.
Yeah.
I appreciate the. Yep, I appreciate the talking. I think I'm gonna look around a little. Can you point me in the direction of like any other people at least, or humanoid?
People. You're the only humanoid. I don't know. I kind of just hang around the edge of the woods here. I'm not a traveling snake. I'm sorry.
Okay, you know what? That's fair. All right.
You
Well,
know, but it was nice. It was nice talking to you. I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
I
don't
gotta
let me-
jet out of here. I gotta go. Wife's probably wondering where I am. It was nice talking to you. fucking watch where you're walking next time. Could be my kids you step on next, and
Yeah, yeah, I'll do that
you
to
know
you.
the terrible twos. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah, yeah. Have a good one.
And you see as the hat on his head kind of just poofs into thin air, and you see the bark, kind of these bark-like scales, kind of flare out and almost grow like wings, and he just floats. Not even like fluttering like any kind of wing to propel himself. He just kind of floats and coasts away about 3 feet above the ground, away from you.
Hmm.
So you're up there, kind of experiencing that. Hatteron, you're still at the bottom of the beanstalk, and Mordecai's still climbing up the beanstalk itself. What would you like to do? He's been up there for
How-
probably about a good 15 minutes at this point.
How thick is this beanstalk?
It's probably going to be a good about at least 10 feet wide, or 20 feet wide is how wide it was when it grew.
Ooh,
Okay, so it's
2 C's.
it could take a beating.
What was that again? I'm sorry?
So it could take a beating if it needed to.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like,
Oh.
it would take like extreme force to damage this at this point. It's like
And
in there.
How high up is it?
Your best estimation is, definitely over 300 feet. It gets kind of strange because of the portal that exists, so it's hard to kind of gauge because you kind of lose that perception.
And Mordecai is about how high up for me?
About that distance. He's from your perception, it looks like he's at the top.
Having stood there for this amount of time, Hadron's just gonna like, for about the past like 5 minutes, he's gonna be doing like that whole foot tapping impatience thing. Finally, just cursing and having enough. He's gonna stand back and start conjuring an eldritch blast in his hand, and he's gonna like eye up roughly how high he thinks he can throw, and he's gonna whip it up there just to try to get Mordecai's attention.
Okay. Let me see. So you launch this out, and it flies up, and as it kind of ascends up, kind of like in order to try to get as high as you can, it's kind of coasting almost parallel with the beanstalk to make sure that you can get as high as you can. It gets about halfway up the beanstalk and like almost like explodes, but not massive, about halfway up the beanstalk in air.
Kind of like letting the explosion settle. Does it look like Mordecai like acknowledges it at all for me?
No.
I don't like just laying on a small curse head. I was just gonna look around like, okay, how the hell do I get his attention? Not wanting to climb this, Hadron's just gonna like turn around, rub his head, and be like, "Fine, I guess I'm waiting." And he's just gonna go find a spot that he can just sit down, and he's gonna just sit there and wait.
Okay. You take a couple minutes, you shoot that up, you kind of contemplate, should I climb, should I not? And then eventually you're like, oh, I'll just kind of wait until he comes down. And you kind of find this broken part of the high hall that's kind of like lodged itself into the ground. So it's got this little kind of, it's almost like a broken half wall that you kind of just lean up against and take a seat. And he still looks as if he didn't move at all in the last 2 minutes. You can see like his speck against, the contrast against the beanstalk. Uraquin, Bongo is carrying Raven Guard in his hands, and Fira is kind of walking kind of close to him as they start to exit they start to exit the main crypts, and they start to head up the staircase. And they kind of wait for you, and they kind of wait near click this guy. Oh, not that map. maybe that one will work. Let me see. This guy? They wait near the unknown hero's tomb. Let me open this up so you can kind of see where they're at now. Where's Bongo? Here he is. He's going to skedat over here. And that would be... Are you just following him right now, Quinn?
Yeah,
Okay.
just along for the ride.
All right. That would make you here. And then, Dimmick, are you heading as well?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll head on. I'll head on with him.
So you guys are essentially in this area here. And Fira just kind of turns to you. You're just, don't worry, it's fine. The unknown hero will understand us borrowing her great sword, if it's for the greater good. Quickly grab it.
You heard the lady. Apparently he didn't hear the lady.
Sorry, Jurgen will reach in and grab the sword, just straight up manhandle it.
Okay. You can see that the sword's kind of like between the unknown hero's hands, kind of clasped, almost like a very ceremonious kind of visual as you kind of grab the great sword. Bongo just says, "Just be careful with it. Relics of faith. It probably means a lot to these people, Quinn."
Yeah, why you gotta go and be so aggressive?
All right. I'll lay it across my arms.
Okay.
Ah, that's better. All right.
Carry it similar to how Bongo's carrying Raven Guard.
Yeah.
Okay. So Bongo continues up the stairs. You guys just following him and Fira?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm just following along.
Okay.
Just chill,
All right. Let's put you guys on the battle map here and the new... Let me just share this. There we go. Okay, so you're there, Dimmick. You're Quinn. Put you like here. Bongo is carrying Raven Guard with Fear next to her. Bongo continues to walk. The seemingly like in pain and Raven Guard, like not of his senses at all. In the time that you guys have had, been in the presence of Raven Guard, he's like not there right now at the moment. Like he's just writhing in some sort of mental pain. He's clawing at his head and is speaking in the tongues he spoke. Fira kind of turns to you guys and she's like, "All right, set him before the altar now that it is cleansed, and someone must say the ritual prayer. I know the prayer by heart, but it wouldn't hurt to have somebody else speak it with me, perhaps. That will help the connection between Torm and here, considering we're on a different plane of existence. The Nine Hells is strange." So Bongo goes and kind of sets down Raven Guard like on this altar that has kind of like that, once again, has kind of like this padded mat where like folks would normally kind of kneel on. And as you guys walk up here now, you can see that the altar looks pristine now since Bongo had interacted with it earlier. She kind of looks and she's like, "Any takers for the prayer?"
Don't look at me. I don't know anything about Torm.
Bongo?
Yeah, well, I guess since he was my friend, I mean, yeah, I can help. Bongo kind of begins to stand next to Raven Guard. You can see Fira and Bongo kind of like not quite shoulder to shoulder. Where are you guys situated on this map? You guys can move your dudes where you want them. Where you guys would be standing to observe this.
Where did we come down from?
Mm. This is the upper floor.
Okay, where did we come up from?
This was like the staircase.
Okay, so
you
this is the altar over here where I am.
Correct. Yep, that's like
Okay.
the kneeling point. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'll be, what is it? Yeah, I'll be 30 feet away from it.
Okay. You just kind of post it up against the wall, Urquin?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Fear kind of turns to Urquin. She's like, I need you a little bit closer if you're going to be holding the sword as part of this ritual while Bongo and I recite the prayer.
We can't just lay it on the altar?
Hmm.
Fine.
One person must
Fine.
set the sword of the unknown hero on the helm while we are speaking the prayer. It's part of the ritual. It's okay if you're not super religious. At least you can just set this down.
Yeah, what are you, jigging?
Fear kind of turns back to you. This is no time for foolery. You do realize you're in a layer of hell. Knock it off.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Perhaps you haven't had friends and family taken away from you right before your eyes. Perhaps you wouldn't be so foolish to be joking at a time like this. Our lives depend on it, Dimmick. Get it together.
I would,
She's very serious, and she's like, that's kind of how she's been the whole time.
I don't think you know what you speak of. You don't know me, but I will heed your words. But you would probably do best not to think I haven't experienced these things for myself.
I see your aura. Actions speak louder than words, friend. Now, either you're going to help or you can be quiet. Good. Fira kind of nods to Bongo, and even with you standing next to them, Urquin, it's hard to hear what they're kind of whispering under their breath. It's kind of, you know how like folks, do that little like prayer where they kind of whisper under their breath. It's kind of like that. I mean, obviously you can't see Bongo's lips, but you get the idea that he's reciting a prayer of some sort. So he has to make a religion check. All right, Bongo. This is your first roll tonight. Let's see how you do, brother man. Where are we? What do you get? What do you get? What do you get? Okay, not horrible. This continues. As you're resting this blade kind of like on the helmet over top of Ravengard, Urquin, it almost vibrates in your hands. It's shaking. You can feel the energy of these kind of like very quietly spoken words kind of radiate from Bongo and Fira, and the sword is being used as almost like a catalyst for this ritual. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. It's only been about 5 seconds into the prayer, and like you're kind of like holding this sword in place and trying to fight back, some sort of immense power. This big blast of energy kind of comes out of the helmet, and you firmly hold the blade in place, kind of determined not to be bested. Once again, another burst of energy pulses out, I need you to make another Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Okay. You take 3d6 force damage. So you take 13 points of damage as this power that's emanating from the helmet and the sword kind of blast you back. But you still hold the sword there, but you do take the damage. Did you already mark that?
What? The damage I took? No.
Okay.
No,
Must have been old.
Oh,
he
you know
yeah
what?
he didn't get any hit points back from the rest. I healed him after the greater
After.
restoration.
Okay, good call, good call. And after you have this blast, out from the helm, you see these lights start to glow from the eye sockets, Uraquin, and these two kind of wispy balls of light blast out, and they immediately have some sort of sentience to them, as if they're, you know, they have some sort of knowledge, or they're trying to do something. I need you guys to roll initiative.
Ah, shit.
Whoops. Let's grab the whole damn thing. There we go. Okay.
Oh,
Roll for Bongo.
fuck's sake, are these will-o-wisps? Oh, no.
Can you put me on the map just so I can see what's going on?
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Mordecai doesn't get to see it. He's in,
He's on another plane.
yeah, he's not allowed.
I see. He sees through
Fine.
Dimmick's eyes.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go somewhere that it ain't gonna affect nothing.
Around some of those eating popcorn. He's like, all right, this is exciting.
So this is what it's like.
Interesting. Is there not a sound set for this? We'll just do Devil Fight.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
Russell,
Super metal.
it's today's videos coming back to haunt us.
I know.
Who's this also? I'm not engaged in combat.
The first will-o-wisp kind of targets you, your Quinn. It kind of comes close to you, not Lulu. Will-o-wisp 1 is going to sweep in over and try to attack Bongo to try to disrupt him from reciting the words. What is he going to do here?
Let's see how much information we retained.
Yeah, dude.
He is going to kind of swing out at Bongo, but there's this crackling energy that kind of arcs over, kind of almost like a Tesla coil, as this shocking ball, kind of like arc of lightning, tries to attack him. That is a 22 to hit. I believe Bongo can do something as a reaction.
I don't know why I'm always baffled when something actually manages to hit Bongo.
It's insane. Is this... That's a bonus action. Don't believe so. So he's going to take 2d8 damage. Okay, 9 points of damage, kind of shock out as Bongo kind of like seizes up for a moment, but still continues speaking the words. The second will-o-wisp is going to target you, Uraquin. Let's see. It's going to do the same thing. It's going to going to reach out towards you with this kind of electrical energy, and is going to you kind of duck out of the way to avoid the shock. While now it's comes to your turn to retaliate.
Trying to keep one hand on the blade and hold it in place so they can finish their prayer. Yurkin will reach for his maul, and he'll start swinging at the one close at him.
I would say you can make an attack with disadvantage because you're really trying to hold this sword, this great sword in place,
Yep.
and trying to like swing with your offhand. So I'll let you attack with disadvantage.
Okay.
Oh. Here in my head, I'm like, here we go. This is gonna be a double nat 20 for no reason.
That'd have been so good.
Oof.
That'll hit.
Oh,
Still 9 points of damage. Nice. You kind of slice through it, and you see the as you swipe through this ball of kind of spectral energy, you see it kind of fade a little bit, but then grow brighter in color. It's almost like a moving lantern, almost.
Well, Yurkon's gonna try to come back at it the other way.
Okay.
Sure, manage. Oh,
Wow.
5.
These disadvantage rolls, too good. Do another swipe through, and you can see it's like very faded and dim, and still kind of floating around in place, but just kind of hanging on.
And that's about it. So Yurkon's just gonna turn back and put both of his hands back on this sword and end his turn.
Okay. Bongo is going to he has to stay focused, or else he knows he's gonna have to restart the ritual over again. It'll be his turn. Dimmick, you're up.
All right. I'm just gonna say to myself, and this is why we don't stand next to weird stuff. And I will I'll fire a sacred flame at the will-o-wisp right next to Bongo here. Tag. Didn't roll my attack dice. Hello, guest.
Nice.
Not nice. What are you talking about?
Nice for me, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Shit.
He doesn't take any damage though.
No, Sacred Flame is a ranged attack spell.
Either all or B. Okay,
Yep.
I got you.
Yuppers.
You kind of see as the flames kind of lap through this room.
Oh no. Well, I will as a bonus action, I guess I will I'll hit Bongo with some healing.
Okay.
I'll do it at, let's see here. We'll do a healing word at, let's do it at second level. It's 2d4 plus 4.
Nice.
So healing word. Let's see here.
Don't heal the will-o-wisp.
Yeah, I don't. No healing to will-o-wisp. Target Bongo. Here we go. All right. Healing word. 2d4. Bink.
Ooh, these.
Boom.
Healed the full health.
And I will just stand ready, preparing another, getting ready to fire another sacred flame at it. So I'm like doing a Doctor Strange like conjure magic kind of thing, the little spirally wheel with all the runes.
Hell yeah.
Fucking here we go, baby.
All right. Let's see. Will-o-wisp 1 is going to once again just try to shock Bongo and rolls a 3. Whamp whamp. The second one is going to try to attack you again, Uraquin.
Oh,
21 to hit. Any reaction or anything, Uraquin?
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're okay. I was muted when I said it the first time. No, I'll just take it. Yeah, 21 will hit.
Ooh. Impressive. 10 points of damage. Kind of as it pulses through your body. I need you to also to make your third Constitution saving throw, kind of holding this blade in place. 14. That's a success.
oh.
Ooh.
Now it is your turn.
Not really doing great here. I guess keeping my hands on the blade, realizing how hard, well, I guess I'm not really going to be able to keep them on there, but realizing how hard it was to swing, I'm going to try to just lift one hand off and cast a magic missile.
Okay.
Let's go with casting it at level 2, so we get 4 darts. So I'm going to go, I guess, 2 on each.
Okay.
Remember, let's see what, yeah, they just do damage, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that doesn't, I shouldn't have done it like that.
Nope, you're fine. 2 darts kind of pierce out. One hits the first will-o-wisp from your bongo. The other one kind of pierces the one next to you as the light fades and kind of flies out, almost like a firefly when its light goes out. Kind of just fades into nothingness. Now you have 2 more darts.
Okay. Even though I already said I was going to shoot 2 at that one?
You would... It's
I would know to read. Yeah, okay.
It's
All right.
magic missile. Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't want to be, yeah. All right.
Nope.
Okay. And last one. Come on. Oh, that's a little bit better.
Nice. So you see these. One flies over to one will-o-wisp and kind of puts the light out, and 3 other darts kind of arc around and kind of curve away from the other will-o-wisp, and you're quit and slam into the one next to Bongo. And Urquin, you are, you've been pretty beat up, just getting over your sickness and, still not having a chance to catch your breath. It's taken all your might to keep this sword in place.
Yeah, Urquin's going to, I think this is, yeah, use his bonus action to do Second Wind, so I gain hit points equal to 1d10 plus my fighter level.
Nice.
Alright, so big roll here. Alright, 12.
What's your 12 points?
Yeah, 12 total.
Okay, so that brings you to 24. Nice. Does that end your turn?
Yeah, that'll be everything.
Okay. Bongo still super focused and just trying to make sure he doesn't fuck this up. Dimmick, you're up.
Here we go. Out of the Doctor Strange thing, we're ripping another sacred flame. Jesus, dude.
It just has almost like this floating energy to it where it just dances around in the space around you. And you just hear, sir, perhaps melee damage. Get me in melee range. Perhaps I can give him a kiss goodnight, sir.
It's not a bad idea. Let me see. What's the range on this fucking thing? 60 feet. Looking at Uraquin, I'm gonna do the same thing I did to Bongo. I'm gonna hit him with the old razzle dazzle. Get him with a level 2 healing word. Here we go, and 2d4 plus 5. Boom.
Wow, nice.
And then I will move into... I'll move here. Move a
Okay.
little closer.
Will-O-Wisp is once again just going to try to... He's continually just taunting Bongo at this point. He's going to make another attack at him. And misses. Odd. Very odd. That'll end his turn. Uraquin, you're still kind of focused on the sword and stuff. What would you like to do?
Uraquin's kind of running out of options here.
It's just out of your reach to hit with your maul.
Yeah. Oh, you know what Uraquin does have though?
Extendo flail!
Extendo flare to the rescue! He's gonna pull it out of his left hand holster, because that's where he keeps it. Because he doesn't, he's a righty, so he keeps it on the other hand.
Jeez.
And he's going to whip around, trying not to hit Bongo, and swing it at the sucker. Well,
What is, what's your, hold on, let me pull this up really quick. What's like your magic word that you use to kind of activate it?
oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
You would have to, otherwise it's just going to be going, you know? I would assume it would have some sort of trigger word. We'll consult the professional. Russell. Doesn't Goku's pole have a word he uses to make it do a thing?
I don't remember honestly.
No, he does not have a. He doesn't have a word for the pole, but he calls his Nimbus cloud.
There you go. All right. In any case, your extendo flail does have a magic word you have to use to activate it.
Russell hates Dragon Ball Z.
I don't hate it. I just don't care for it like I used to.
Damn it.
Hold on. Oh, that's.
When DBZ don't hit like it used to.
Oh God, I can't think of anything. He's just going to.
Just stay. Well, just stay there, and I can just get into melee and beat the hell out of this thing.
No, I can swing it. I just have to think of a word. He's gonna.
You have to think of the word, not a word.
Every
word.
The
word.
You choose the word.
Yeah, the word is reach in Draconic, but I don't know what it is, and I can't find it online. So.
All right, then what does it sound like?
It sounds like something in Draconic.
Man,
I don't know.
I'm out here trying to give inspiration points, and people just don't want them.
Well, if I could find it online, then I could.
You can make it up. You can make it up.
That's.
You can make it be like a death metal.
Yeah, it's just not happening. Yeah, it's I can't find. I'm like googling all sorts of stuff. Nothing's coming up. Yeah, it's like a really deep, almost phlegmy, sharp yell, and it's like, and it just it sounds like he's coughing something up, and then as he's swinging it just. I don't know exactly how this works because I don't think I've used it, but maybe once. But
it's
as soon as it gets to the end of where you think it would go, it comes a little further and misses.
all that. It kind of reaches out, and the wisp kind of does this little loop-de-loop around the flail's kind of like pole part. But it does look cool.
Like, just confused. Still trying to figure out how this thing works. He's going to take one more swing. No.
Man, this flail don't hit like the maul does.
100%, dude.
Bad.
Misses again as the wisp is kind of dances in the air and dodges your attack.
Right, fine. Dimmick, your turn, and I will end my turn.
Bongo's still focusing. Dimmick?
No problem. Now that I see it didn't make any moves, I'm gonna move 5 feet forward. I'm gonna withdraw Charles. I'm gonna give him the old razzle dazzle.
Ooh, that'll hit.
Alright, so Dimmick, one of his features and traits that I learned of last time, he has Divine Strike, so once on each of your turns when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can cause the attack to deal an extra 1d8 radiant damage, which is what I will be doing.
Hell yeah.
So I'm gonna hit him with this d8 plus 2, and I'm gonna hit him with a 1d8. It missed the box. Boom.
Nice. Another 3 points of damage slams into this as you kind of slice through. And he goes, "Sir, do you remember the times when I was referred to as the lethal liaison?"
Oh, Charles. We're bringing sexy back. And that'll do it for me.
All right. The wisp, after getting sliced in the air, is going to be irritated by you and is going to target you now, Dimmick.
Bring it on.
He's going to attempt to shock you.
Shit.
Does a 23 hit?
It sure does.
I don't think Bongo's ability is going to help. Aura. Okay, that's not going to help you. Okay. You have this arc of energy reach out and kind of zap into you. Whew. As 14 points of damage slam into your person.
Ooh,
that's a heavy hit.
Ooh, is that the best you got?
He's kind of still dancing in space in front of you. Urquin, you're up again. Make a Constitution saving throw as you're still holding this blade.
Oh, no. Oh yeah. All right.
Okay. That's a success.
Jurgen's a little embarrassed at this point, but he's gonna just try for one more. Still trying to go just around Bongo's head. Sorry.
This will-o-wisp is like nasty right now. He's doing all sorts of dance moves in the air, dodging shit.
Now Jurgen's getting angry, and this one's gonna hit. Watch this. Oh yeah,
that one will hit.
That's what we're looking for.
Yeet.
Oh, some damage.
Ooh. You kind of you see as the flail part of this extendo flail, Dimmick kind of sweeps over your head and makes critical contact with the will-o-wisp as it kind of explodes in this extremely bright light and then fades to nothing.
Oh, holy shit.
Bongo and Fear are still kind of trying to hold this prayer steady. One more big, massive blast of energy is released from the helmet. I need to make one final Constitution saving throw, Urquin.
This is how Urquin dies.
Oh, still success.
Oh.
Beat it by 1.
Oh.
Remember, you also have guidance as well. So if at any time...
Oh, I thought it was just on ability checks, not save. Sorry, my bad.
Oh no, you're right. It is ability checks.
The helmet now, kind of, you see Ravengard kind of take a massive breath, and Fear just kind of immediately reaches down to put her hands on his chest, and she's like, Ravengard, tell me, did it work? And you can see the head kind of rise up and pulls off the helmet, and drenched with sweat, kind of pouring down his face, you guys finally see a very weathered and battle-worn older Ravengard. As he kind of looks at you all there, kind of watching him as he's taking a breath. Hadron.
Yes, sir?
It's been about another 15 minutes.
Jeez.
And it looks as if Mordecai has made no progress. Are you going to continue to wait for him?
No, it's okay. Go ahead. Leave your friend.
Or maybe if somebody didn't just run up there like it was nobody's business.
It's a beanstalk. You think I'm not gonna fucking run up the beanstalk I just grew?
You know how hard it is for me to not light this thing on fire right now.
You can sure try, in the words of our Lord and Savior Matthew Mercer.
Well, too bad he isn't here. Yeah, Hadron's gonna wait. Hadron told me he wasn't going up there, so Hadron's sticking to his guns on this.
All right. He's just like, I'm not moving. Mordecai, you're still kind of in this conversation with the snake after he had just left, and you're kind of just in this space at this point, kind of taking in the space and thinking about what to do next. Back in the high hall, Ravengard stands up, and he just kind of has the helmet now under his one arm. And he like looks at Bongo and Uraquin and Fira and Dimmick, kind of looks at you all. He goes, well, wasn't that a treat? Whew. That was not fun.
Yeah,
Thank you.
usually treats are fun. That definitely.
Yeah.
I'd like to check him. I'd like to give him a once over, like medically, see if he
Okay.
needs any like healing.
Yeah, make a medicine check. Very good. Yeah, he got some bumps and bruises and some scrapes, but he just looks like his eyes have seen some shit. You can just tell there's that weathered, almost like beaten down vibe.
All right.
He just looks kind of more or less exhausted.
Well, physically you look fine. Here, hold still. Look into my eyes for just a second, and I'm gonna use the medallion
right.
I'm gonna use the medallion of thoughts. I'm gonna expend a charge on it. See what's on the surface here. See if there's anything lurking around.
Okay. You kind of take a moment and you look kind of more into him, the surface thoughts, and kind of get the idea of, what makes this man tick and what's on his mind right now.
Tacos. Yeah.
Determination. You can sense on the surface there's guilt, what you can perceive kind of on the surface thoughts of like the guards that went with him. You get the sense he's thinking about that. There's also remnants of this divine and fiendish struggle where there's just, he just seems worn out and just exhausted at this point.
That one right there. I want to focus on that and dive deeper. See if there's something still.
Which part?
The remnants of the struggle. I want to see if there's anything still lurking around, anything deeper under the surface.
Okay. Let me see here.
He can be willing, or he can resist it and sit and roll a save.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong fucking character sheet. Might help if I look at the right one. Oh, boy. Okay. Okay, you're casting Detect Thoughts. DC 13. Let me see. What did the Detect Thoughts save? What's it against? Let me read this spell quick.
What is?
Oh, Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom.
Okay, it's Wisdom. Yeah, I'm just like trying to what the fuck? Okay, so what happens if he beats it?
Nothing happened. I only get the like top layer. I don't get to go any deeper.
But doesn't he get to know that you're doing it?
Yeah.
Either way. He kind of just looks directly at you, even like his eyes kind of come close, his eyelids kind of squeeze, and kind of furrows his brow, and he just says,
don't.
I promise you, Dimmick, I don't know your name, but I just said it.
I was just gonna say, how does he know mine? Inside check.
He just kind of looks at you. I promise you, I have nothing to hide.
Oh, I wasn't.
Like Krieg.
I wasn't looking for anything in particular. I just wanted to check out, make sure nothing was lurking underneath. That was.
We should head back somewhere safe.
Yeah, that was quite a.
I'll tell you everything I've seen.
All right, sounds good to me.
With the helmet cleansed now, perhaps we can use it for the greater good to protect El Terrell.
Yeah.
And find a solution to this demonic problem we have here. Fira kind of takes his hand and kind of try to support him to guide him back down to the main crypts where everyone is kind of hiding out, and Mongo kind of just does what he can to help support Ravengard. Yurquin, you still have the sword, and Fira kind of turns back to you, and she's like, just make sure that makes it back to the unknown hero's tomb, please.
I was just thinking that myself.
Okay. I'll take it back now, just in case.
Thank you.
I want to throw out a detect magic, real quick.
In general, okay.
Yeah.
As Bongo and Fira and Older are heading down the staircase away from you at this point, you get a decently strong ping from the helmet that's underneath Ravengard's arm, as well as his longsword that he has on his side.
What about the sword from the statue?
The sword from the statue? Nothing.
Nothing from the sword, huh? Alright. Yeah, it's not worth seeing if we can keep it, so... Yeah, might as well take it back. I'm just thinking I'm thinking to myself,
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that would have been real bad.
Okay.
Yeah. That does last for 10 minutes as well, so...
Okay, very, very good.
But
as you are you following Yurquin and Dimmick? Are you heading down as well?
yeah, I'm gonna keep at the rear. Just kind of keep an eye out.
Yeah, I'm heading to the tomb.
Mordecai and Hadron have been gone for quite some time at this point. It's been at least 25, 30 minutes. And you guys don't know where they are. They're just gone at this point.
Well, wouldn't Bongo technically know since he was...
I was more talking to Dimmick and Yurquin, because Bongo's kind of ahead of them. Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
You know, I haven't seen the other two.
I'm sure they're fine. They're just doing their thing.
Yeah, I mean, you know the tall one better than I do. So
Yeah, they're probably just playing music somewhere. I don't know, finding squirrels to torture.
well, that's morbid.
Um, you guys head down and follow Bongo. We'll take like a quick 10-minute break. I just need to go to the bathroom and grab another drink, and then we'll come back and we'll finish up.
All right, sounds good. We'll take a
Sound good?
10-minute break. Everybody, see you back here 8 o'clock.
Jawohl.
Jawohl. Hello, everybody.
Oh, hey, Pat. What's up?
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Uh, let's pick up what Mordecai's doing. You're standing in this, once again, like this kind of like this patch of kind of darker grass. You just watch this Theo, this kind of strange fey bark snake, kind of float away. You kind of see in the distance just these rolling hills that extend as far as your eye can see. While to the other direction, you can see these strange amorphous trees begin to get thicker and thicker and denser.
I'm gonna just... I need to leave something here so I know where this is. What do I have in my
You
inventory?
can, well, you turn around, you can see the beanstalk goes up another probably 100 feet in this sky.
Oh, okay, so
It
the
doesn't.
beanstalk goes up through the gate,
Correct.
but
Yep.
the edge that I needed to grab was far... Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. So I can see the beanstalk. It goes up for another 100 feet?
Yeah. Imagine if you like pierced a pencil through a piece of paper. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And it
So
extends up more.
I can... It's still really tall here, yeah?
Yeah, it's about at least 100, approximately 100 feet.
Okay. I am going to... before Theo flies off, can I ask him which way Franklin went?
Yeah, he's kind of too. Yeah, he's went to the inside the fucking forest.
Okay, that... Sure. I'm gonna pick a direction, and I am gonna go
This guy
try...
doesn't like my directions. What an asshole. He went he went deeper into the forest,
Deeper
brother.
into the forest. You know what? That makes a lot of sense. I will pick a direction deeper into the
I
forest.
don't see him in the field.
Yeah,
He
you're right.
probably went in the you know what I'm saying?
Yes, Theo. Thank you. You know what? I appreciate it. Yes. I will pick a direction, and I will go. I will go deeper into the forest. At this point,
Okay.
I am trying to find someone that can help us out in a big way.
Okay. Make are you just kind of like going blindly?
Yeah.
Just like I'm just gonna pick a direction here and just gonna head that way.
Yeah. I mean, there.
Okay.
Do I have any Are there any landmarks that look like they're pointing in the direction of civilization or?
In this immediate area that you can see in your perception kind of view, you kind of do like a 360 to try to get your bearings of like what is this landscape.
Mm-hmm.
You've got let's say it's to the east, right? We're just
Right.
making up directions. To your right, which would be the east, is where the Fate's Forest is.
Mm-hmm.
You assume the whole thing there is Fate's Forest, and then directly to the west, which is to your left, is like a massive prairie that has very little vegetation. Just has these rolling hills that go forever, seemingly just to the horizon. And then you have obviously the beanstalk that goes up, but you don't really like nothing jumps out at you as like, oh, this is like where people live, or it's just this strange kind of countryside, I guess you could call it.
Yeah. Okay.
You've seen areas of like this in the mortal plane, the material plane of like where it's just hasn't been touched by civilization yet. So I would say you can make a survival check if you're heading into the forest to try to find traces of either paths or that maybe perhaps somebody or something came through.
Okay, that works.
It's not horrible. I mean, you're heading in, you don't really get nothing really catches your eye, and as you're walking through, you're starting to see that it's darker in here because the canopy is so thick and dense. As you get farther into the Fates Forest, you're about 20 feet in, and you can see the light from the direction you came from. But when you look up, the canopy is almost completely covering, like you can't see the sky.
That's what I was afraid of. As long as I can get to the top of a tree, I should be okay. But
Okay, yeah, they're like maybe the highest one, like from like forest floor to like what you perceive as like the canopy itself is probably the highest one's probably about 60 feet. So definitely climbable. Um, uh,
I'm gonna
but
look for. I'm gonna look for any humanoid. I'm gonna go on a search.
oh yeah, we just survival check. You are in the area about 20, 30 feet into the forest. You can kind of see uh, the trees are so dense and thick within here that when you look out, there's so many in here that eventually like it's almost like when you're looking around like how sometimes you're in like the woods or even like a I've never been to a genuine forest, but
Mm-hmm.
you have you can't really see that far because there's so many trees that kind of stack up against each other as you're in your visual range.
Right.
Right now in your immediate area, you don't see anything that alludes to a path or anything. So you just kind of sit for a moment and you focus. Make a perception check as you try to listen or try to pinpoint something that's to give you some sort of
Oh,
sense of direction of where to go. Um,
we're so close to that
you
20.
see a tree that looks like it's tilted more than one of the other ones than any of the other ones where like most of them are rather straight up and they have this strange kind of very tight bark pattern.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one that's kind of angled a bit and you're like, well, that's the only thing that looks different. If you wanted to head towards that, you can,
Yeah, I'll
or in that direction.
I'll sit down. Um, oh man, I just gotta know where to go. I'm gonna pull out um as like a last kind of ditch effort. I'm gonna pull out my pipes of the sewers, and I'm going to expend a charge and see if there are any rats nearby that I can talk to.
Yeah, let me see.
Half a mile is the radius on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, provided that enough rats are within half a mile of you to be called in this fashion, as determined by the DM.
Let's see what you get. Okay. Um, you kind of focus and you continue to play after expending this charge, and it's you're kind of looking out as you're playing the pipes, and the forest is still, and then you start to see through the leaves and some of the foliage on the ground floor of the forest movement from all around you, as if like the ground is kind of almost like bubbling or like waving in the wind, and eventually swirling around you is these rather large rats that aren't quite what you would consider a giant rat,
Mm-hmm.
but definitely hefty in size compared to what you would normally like compared to Jeffrey, probably about twice as big as Jeffrey, so pretty chonkin.
Oh wow.
And they have these very strange pointy ears, and the coat of their fur is a variety of kind of these deep blues, and some have deep purple color fur. And as they kind of coalesce in front of you and they kind of just wait, you can see that most of them have multiple eyes. Some have three, some have five that kind of speckle the top of their head on top of the bridge of their nose. And they kind of, at this point, are kind of just in this almost like mold of ball of what seems to be eyes and fur.
Oh, well, hello everyone. Do any of you do any of you understand me?
Um, they continue to kind of roll around. It kind of looks like a very oddly shot claymation video where it's just this ball of almost like liquid,
Yeah.
and
I mean, I have rat speak,
yeah,
but these are a long shot.
there's there's a sense of recognition, but not like it's been longer than 10 minutes since you cast Speak with Animals,
Right.
but they don't seem any more hostile, and they seem like they seem attentive.
All
But
right.
it seems like it's kind of like a strange. Um, it's difficult. It's kind of like trying to speak, German,
Right.
and you're you right now. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely
There's a
a
barrier.
recognition. There's a recognition of that you're trying to speak with them, but like, there's just this disconnect that this is from a different plane, and like, it's tough.
Yeah. I'm just gonna sit like crisscross on the ground and put my arm like over top of one of them, give a little bit of a scritch,
Okay.
and just like try to gather my thoughts real quick. Try to stop myself from having a panic attack,
Um,
and just like I don't know if deities reach across different planes, but I'm gonna like I'm gonna say like a quick prayer to Jeffrey, just like you know. Seems I got a little lost. Looking for some help here, buddy. I don't I don't really know what else to do. But
make a religion check. As you're kind of just hanging out with these fey rats, you you kind of look up and you see something that has this almost fuchsia color fur, and there's this solid gold colored thing that almost looks like a beetle that's crawling down a tree, probably about 20 feet away from you, but at pretty fast speed. And as it comes down, uh, it kind of chases up. It's almost like it was a rat that um, had come late to the party for the swarm,
mm-hmm.
and uh, you can see that this rat has a what seems to be this very very shiny gold tortoise shell attached to its back, and has this fuchsia colored fur, and it just stands on its hind legs and crosses its arms and just looks at you, and it's like three eyes.
Oh, um, how, can you understand me? I've doubted, but I mean, you got a pretty cool turtle shell, or whatever it is.
It just kind of it blinks in succession, so the right eye blinks, the middle eye blinks, and the left eye blinks. It's like this strange like Mustang turn signal blinking pattern almost.
That's awesome.
And uh, this rat just kind of looks at you, still with his arms crossed, standing on his hind legs, about a foot tall, and just kind of cocks its head to the side a bit and goes, "It's been a while, Mordecai." Um, Back down to the high hall. At the at the base of this beanstalk, Hadron, you're pushing an hour, and Mordecai's still climbing. He's definitely you've kind of like gotten to a point where you're eyeballing it, and you're using a leaf that's kind of farther down the beanstalk to reference the distance that he's moved,
That's awesome.
and he's definitely moved, but it's been about an hour.
Aaron's out here just while I'm sciencing this thing all of a sudden.
Yeah, yeah. You're
Um,
like, you know what? There's got to be like he's definitely moving. Like you can confirm that.
at this point, Hadron's just finally gonna like say screw it. Is there some sort of decently sized like rock nearby that Hadron could move?
How big you looking for? I don't
Uh,
know if like you're looking for a pebble or something to throw, or what are you
so,
thinking?
something big enough to write a message on that if
Oh,
it got
okay.
destroyed wouldn't really be of any concern for anyone in El Terrell.
Okay. Yeah, you can find probably like a nice size, like it almost looks like a stone that was part of the structure around you. That's kind of like just a really, really thick, almost like what you would look at like a tablet. You know what I mean? That you
Um,
could write something on.
Finding that, Hadron's going to walk over to the base of this beanstalk and kind of like look back towards the entrance to the high hall and set the stone in an area where, like, if you walked out the high hall, you could just like immediately see it.
Okay.
And starting to cast acid splash, I want to like hone it down to like almost a writing utensil
Yeah.
to etch into the stone. Just went after Mordecai. It just point an arrow pointing up the beanstalk
Okay.
and
Um.
to start climbing this thing.
Okay. Make a dexterity check to see if you're able to uh, write this message with your acid splash spell.
Mm-hmm.
Decent, yeah. I mean, it's a decent sized piece of like stone. Like it definitely is going to be obvious. It's almost like some of those stones you see on the front of people's houses with like their number on it or their house
Mm.
number on it. So you can kind of do that and definitely legible and not your best work, but um, easily readable and common. And you start to climb the beanstalk. Um, in the high hall, Uraquin and Dimmick and Bongo, you all head down to the um, what's considered the main crypts, and you're now standing within. Let me just share this again so that way y'all can just know we're focusing on this part. Yep. We're gonna delete that token.
I was gonna say Mordecai is not here.
Where is? Where the fuck you go? Oh, you're right there. Duh. I'm freaking blind, bro. Um. After about a few minutes of the Grand Duke Ravengard kind of taking a moment to regain his faculties, you see some people just kind of gasp and some you know there's like a awkward, strange kind of applause as people kind of see that he's returned and with the helmet in tow. He kind of sits down on this stone. It's kind of a circular stone, like almost like a pedestal, basically, but where he can just kind of sit down on it and kind of just takes a deep breath and looks at you all, and he's like, "More survivors? Glad you guys made it here safe."
Who's he talking to? I'm sorry.
You, Dimmick, Bongo, and Uraquin, because to him, he doesn't know who you are. He seems like as he returned, he kind of like waved to some of the folks who were kind of holing up in here. But he sits down, kind of acknowledges that he doesn't know who you guys are.
Okay. I wouldn't say we're survivors. Um, Honestly, I think the other two here probably know more about the situation than I do, so I'm just gonna take a step back.
Okay, well, it's a strange elephant-like creature you have in tow. Um, so, what you guys doing here? You here to help or hurt? You saved
Well,
my life. What can I do for you?
Yeah, this is all you, Uriquin. I'm gonna take a step
I
back.
I don't think we're really asking for anything. We saw, well, again, directly see what happened, but we noticed the town go missing, so we came here to help you.
What do you mean you saw the city go missing? You weren't
Well,
in Elturel when it moved?
no, we had been passing not long after, and it was just a hole. I mean, everything is gone.
He kind of raises an eyebrow, almost uh, visually similar to the rock, like very, very high, and he's like, strange. Where do you all hail from?
We the well,
I
most of us
noticed
are.
I noticed the mantle on your pauldron there. Crimson Blade?
Most of us, yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm.
It used to be pretty big a few years back, but when I left, I didn't know you guys were still around.
Well, they trailed off, but I think we're bringing them back.
I,
Uh,
I'm from the coast. I don't really know what the Crimson Blades is. I mean, I know what it is, but I'm not part of it.
Fair enough. Bongo kind of steps forward and he goes, "Yeah, we're definitely back now, sir. Um, mind if I ask what you witnessed in the helmet, within the helm? You seemed like you were in pain." Um, Ravengard just kind of like shifts his focus to the ground in his hands, and you see kind of set the helmet next to him where he's sitting, and kind of looks back at it and looks at you guys and, well, I guess the best way to describe it was a spiritual journey almost. Um, Visions came through in all manner of language. Some I could understand, some I could not. There was a vision where I could see a bloodied woman in armor, some soldier wearing the colors and the crest of El Turel. She was holding a longsword that was fit for an angel. Um, there was blood that streamed from a cut on the woman's cheek. My vision blurred, and there was a loud scream, and my vision came to me again. Um, now that I think of it, flying next to the woman was a small golden elephant. He kind of like points over to Lulu, and he's like, I've seen, I've seen that thing in my vision. Um, I mean, I also had a vision of as an enormous looping demon threatened to devour the woman. She plunged the sword into the ground, while that winged elephant there made some sort of trumpet sound with his trunk. The demon hurled back as this strange palace, uh, a white, almost alabaster, this massive palace rose above and up around the sword. And the winged elephant here fled and took to the sky of Avernus, here, and it watched as a bloody scab grew up from the ground to engulf the palace and the enormous demon. Um, you can also remember that this elephant here fled and he wandered into a delirium before coming upon two odd, like bird like humanoids. They were dressed in uh, patchwork armor, standing next to some sort of strange infernal vehicle. Had wheels and spikes and bones on it. Um, the bird creatures, they just stood there, not threatening, but holding old weapons and some sort of tools. Um, but that's kind of all I can really grasp from the visions within that helm. Um, you can see Lulu's having a reaction where she's kind of the wings are sputtering much faster, and What is up with your mic? Can you guys hear his from Pat's
Yes.
mic? That's so weird.
From my mic?
Yeah. It's almost like I don't know. It's kind of like feedback, but not really. It's hard to explain. It's almost like there's like a fan blowing into it the whole time when you're not speaking, or when someone else is speaking loud enough it triggers, or something like that. It's weird. Oh, there it was. Oh, there it was. Oh, there it was. Um, but you guys can see uh, Lulu start to like flutter her wings quicker and kind of does this almost little loop in the sky. And Lulu kind of just does the little doo 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 to kind of like almost like an excitement, or that perhaps she's recalled something, and she kind of floats down next to Bongo. Dimmick, you can speak Celestial, right? I've asked like 8 times, but I'm pretty sure you can. Okay. Okay.
Whoops, there we go.
You're good. Lulu comes down, and Euroquin, you just see like Lulu come down and start like jibber jang, like you can't understand, but she's just. Lulu's like, I remember that. Zariel's most loyal Hell Rider, Yale. Yale took the sword and plunged it into a rock. I called on every ounce of goodness in my heart to rise a shield around it, a fortress against evil. It's so strange. I think the sword of Zariel is the key to saving El Terrell.
The sword of
And
what?
then the sword of Zariel. You know, my companion.
Do I recognize? Do I recognize what that is, or like the sword specifically?
Trying to think. Uh, I would say you can make a history check to see if you've read something about the about Zariel. Um, you know that Zariel was an angel, and that she wielded a very powerful sword. But there's a lot of details that don't get translated in like the material plane. Like, definitely you know of Zariel and that she wields a sword,
Right.
but not any specific details about said sword.
Okay. Lulu, you wouldn't happen to know where this blade is now, would you?
Um, I remember the bird folk from Ravenguard's vision. What was their name? Ah, yes, Chukka and Clonk. Um, Chukka and Clonk took me to their junkyard here in the Vernus. They helped me after the battle broke out. What was it called? And like you can see the trunk kind of like kind of curl up a bit and tense. And she goes, doo-doo-doo. It was Fort Knucklebone. They built and repaired Inferno vehicles there, and they helped me. They provided me with shelter. I think that's where we need to go next. Perhaps the sword's there, or maybe somewhere there knows what happened to the sword.
Well, it sounds like it's settled. I don't think we have any more time to lose.
Um, she kind of looks at you, and then she's like, I'm gonna go look and see if I can see Fort Knucklebone from here. We're pretty high up in the sky. And she darts out of the main crypt here and flies right by you like super fast and is already up the stairs.
Oh, damn.
Like
Quick.
Bongo like has to take a couple steps back. He's like, whoa, whoa.
There she goes. Well,
Raven Guard just kind of looks up and he goes, I don't know what that's all about, but that elephant was definitely in my visions. It was speaking. Whoa. You care to fill me in?
yeah, it was, this is, Lulu, is the name of that creature. The creature is itself an elephant, or I'm sorry, a hollyphant. She is a celestial, so she only speaks celestial.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's pretty wild and crazy things going on. As you already know, you've had some weird stuff popping around in your head, but she seems to think that the blade of Zariel, her companion, is probably a key to freeing El Terrell. Seems pretty viable. She said something about Fort Knucklebone. Does that ring a bell?
Can't say it does. Is that where you're headed?
Well, that's where she's pointing us. Apparently, she has some connections there. Chukka and Clonk. You recognize
Are
those
they
names at
demons
all?
or something?
Well, she did let us know that they repaired or worked on some sort of what was the word she used? Infernal vehicles?
Not sure what that is. Well, I would like to go with you, but I think the people here need me.
That yes, don't you have done quite enough. You need to take a rest here.
I'll try to help organize any survivors that are left and continue to fight off these devils and demons that are running amok in the city.
It's an excellent idea, but please make sure you rest.
Rest is. I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Yeah, well, that was almost today, so might want to just take a nap, or maybe sleep through the night.
Fear kind of walks up and puts her hand on Ravengard's shoulders. You know, he's right. Should rest. We can keep an eye out. Ravengard just kind of turns and looks at her and then looks at you guys. It's like, well, you better get out there. I'll be here or around here somewhere if you need any more help.
We should go find the other two. Whatever the hell they're doing.
Bongo kind of looks at you and Urquin and he's like, we should probably find out where Lulu went. She seemed like she was in a hurry.
Well, I mean, she said she was going out to try to get a bird's eye view, see if she could find Fort Knucklebone.
Fair enough. I'm gonna go.
But yeah, we should
I'm
probably
gonna head
get
up.
out.
Urquin, what are you doing?
All right, let's go find them since they can't find their way back.
Well, before you all leave, thanks again for helping. I'm indebted to you. From a flaming fist to a crimson blade, I thank you. You'll
Sponsored.
get your due, I promise.
Sponsored by the Flaming Fist.
What'd you say, Dimmick?
I said sponsored by the Flaming Fist.
Yeah, the assholes in Boulder's Gate.
100%.
Um,
I'll make my way out, looking around corners and things, looking for either Mordecai or Hadron,
okay.
and then just make my way out of the castle.
Okay. Are you following Dimmick Iroquois and Bongo, just heading outside?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys make your way up through the crypts, and it's strange. Seems like this place has got some sort of calm that there's been a foothold kind of established here in El Torel that you guys have helped the survivors clear out the dangers within the cathedral of the High Hall and cleanse the altar and helped bring back their impromptu leader. Um, the Grand Duke of Baldur's Gate is now taken the mantle of whatever is left of El Torel. Hadron, as you're climbing up the beanstalk, it's easily climbable. Like I said last week, there's little vines that are growing off and little footholds that you can kind of get your feet in, and it's strange. It's almost got this feel of it like just existing here for a long time, like it's been here for a while. You're about, I'd say, about 100 feet up, and you can kind of see you're gaining on Mordecai. Like you're definitely catching up. Make a perception check. Okay, pretty decent. Um, you spend the next another about 30 seconds climbing, and you notice that you're not getting any closer to um, Mordecai. And you kind of take a moment, you look down, you're about 250 feet up at this point, and you perceive that there's parts of the high hall below you where, like, within this uh you know kind of, I guess, courtyard. Because if we look at this image here, let me clear this drawing and share this with you guys. This beanstalk now inhabits this space and shoots straight up.
Mm.
You're looking down, and the flames of the crater that are within seem to flutter much faster, almost like it's. Let me think. Let me think about the mathematics behind this. You are experiencing time slower than the ground. So if you looked down, it would look like it's fluttering fast. That's what I think. And when you look back up, you can see that now suddenly, as you get closer, Mordecai is moving faster, and he's to the point where he now jumps out of view, and now you can't see anymore.
Seeing him jump, I don't know, just like quizzically like, why is he
He's about
doing
he's
this?
about yeah, he's about 75 feet away from you when he jumps.
Seeing, like I said, seeing him jump, Hadron's gonna be like, to like quizzically like, why is he? And he's just gonna like stop, shake his head, and he's just gonna keep climbing to try to catch up to him.
Okay. You continue your ascent. Ironic, considering that there was a descent into Avernus and you're ascending into the Feywild. You continue climbing up. seems like no time really passes until you make your way up into the top, and you can see that once again you've crest through this barrier, and you have that strange feel of this. You can't put your finger on it, but some sort of strange magical barrier as you pull your head up through it. As you're now
Um,
kind of looking within the Feywild.
kind of like putting my head through. I'm gonna look around. I'm just gonna like kind of like stop slightly as I'm just like, wait a minute, this is a little bit more than even what I was prepared for. Um, Finally, like stepping to, Hadron's gonna look around. Is Mordecai like anywhere nearby that he can see?
You're looking around. The grass is a duller color now. The grass you see now is almost got a hint of gray to it. It's this grayish blue. Um, you look to the right and you can see the forest is it's got this strange crimson like leaves, and the bark on the trees. This is very odd. Um, the sky is a bit darker, like it's perhaps you don't even know what time it would be in this plane, but the sky is dark. There's like this bluish tint to everything,
Mm.
but you don't see anybody or anything.
Um, Not really seeing anyone. Hadron's gonna like kind of like look back down towards bottom of the beanstalk before.
Um,
Oh, good.
oh, you look down and you can see on the ground. You can see um, Lulu the Hollyphant and Jet out of the cathedral, and then like a second after that, you presume to be Bongo because he's a freaking shining beacon, and Urquin and Dimmick kind of come out into the courtyard.
Seeing them, Hadron's gonna like have a like momentary pause of like, do I go down and tell them, or just kind of say screw it? Letting out a small sigh, he's just gonna like shake his head. And he's gonna kind of like climb a little bit higher onto the beanstalk to make his uh, jump into the plane a little bit easier.
Okay, yeah, you climb up a little bit more, and probably about like 10 feet down from you is the ledge of the ground. You're gonna make the jump?
Yeah.
Okay, make a acrobatics check.
Oh no.
I want to see this Dick Grayson moves.
Oh,
Oh
I
man,
panicked so hard right there. Oh my
nice.
gosh.
Jump off and land like it was nothing, and uh, you feel something beneath your foot.
Um, feeling something had around, just like I'm gonna try to pause. Not sure of where he is. Is just like mentally prepped for like the worst as he slowly looks down.
You can see this branch is beneath your foot, and it's got a strange bark formation on it.
Seeing it, Hadron's like kind of like pick his foot up slowly, move it back, set it down, and just slowly kneel down to look at this thing.
As you lift your foot up, this branch starts to slither and out of your view. Gets kind of lost in the grass as it seems to have come alive and slithers away.
Seeing that, Hadron's just gonna like quietly, like, great, more things to worry about. Um, Standing back up, he's gonna like look around and kind of like quietly grumble to himself. And just go, "Where have you gone, Mordecai?"
Make a hmm. Make a wisdom check.
I feel like I
Okay.
just got robbed there.
I know, what the hell? Um, you're not sure the mechanics behind it, but whether it's magic or what is the cause of it, but there's definitely a time dilation between the Nine Hells and the Feywild, and you recount the sky of the Feywild that you can see at the bottom of the Beanstalk is much darker now, as if time of day has changed within the matter of 30 minutes that you were within a matter of minutes from you climbing from the bottom of the Beanstalk up. It has vastly changed the time. And being a scholar, I will give you a nugget of, you guys are losing a lot of time up here. That's all I'm gonna say. But
Just
right now, you don't see anything besides this weird, strange, living piece of wood branch come alive. It's kind of quiet and peaceful up here compared to the ravenous, chaos down below.
out of curiosity, would Hadron actually know where he is?
With your Fey ancestry and studying things, I mean, the Feywild would be definitely something any elf that's worth their weight in salt would know about. It's kind of like us talking about like, well, my great grandfather came over from Ireland, shit like that. That's kind of the same vibe that elves have. That elves are descendants of Fey type creatures.
Okay. Standing there, Hadron's just gonna kind of look around for a minute, just kind of listening, just to see if he hears anything. And then after a few minutes, if he doesn't hear anything, he's just gonna kind of look around once more, just to be safe, and then he's just gonna start yelling Mordecai's name.
Okay, that's fair. It's hard to play this because you're about 10 hours behind when Mordecai came up. So at this point in time, I don't really know how to DM this portion, because these time slips right now are so far apart because you waited, that I don't know if Mordecai's already come back to meet you yet. So I can't say, like, it's also like I would have to play out however long Mordecai is spending up in the Feywild to the point of when you come up, and then you guys have to go through the time that you've spent up there from when Dimmick, Bongo, and Urquin come out of the building.
Oh,
so
no.
we've kind of backed ourselves into a corner right now where I'm not sure how to handle this portion, because
What have I done?
You've broken everything. Congratulations.
well, essentially, from what I have created in terms of the way the Feywild works with time and stuff, and the party being split, like, I don't mean to like scare you or anything, Patrick, but Mordecai is about, if my math's right, if you're spent about even 15 minutes before Hadron started moving up the thing, you're about, like, your pawn is off the table now for this arc.
What?
Unless something happens.
What do you?
And I just
What?
So it's 100-to-1 ratio,
I'm getting ratioed.
basically.
Oh my god.
And I'm trying to figure out how we can resolve this mentally. I didn't think you would jump in there. I didn't think that then Hadron would follow you up there. So this is, I guess, not to metagame and break this, but I'm trying to figure out how I navigate this going forward, and I'm gonna have to spend some time figuring that out.
Dope.
Because, like, at the speed you were walking up the thing, because you're so close to the field, like, you were delayed, and then you breaking through the barrier. The Feywild's weird with time.
So let me get this straight. 15 minutes is 150 years.
Whoa.
Is that
Whoa, whoa,
is that
whoa.
what I'm saying, or is it
No, 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 no.
15 years? Because if it's a 100-to-1 ratio,
Is it really? My math might be wrong.
okay.
Because
No, it's
by
not
the
even
time,
close.
hold on, let me think. By the time I was just throwing in a number, it from Hadron's perspective, he waited 30 minutes and watched you start climbing up, and then he had to start climbing up, and he got within the time dilation bubble before he seen you cross. So he spent 30 minutes, then you jumped, and then you were like playing at an advanced speed. So
And now there's a 10-hour.
I'm trying to think like I would like to do the math proper.
Hello, by the way.
Hi, Bongo.
Hey buddy, have you been listening to what's going on?
I missed like the last 30 seconds or so as I was switching over, but I know there's some funky stuff going on. I didn't catch all.
Okay, let's do the math. We can do the easy math. JD, you need to help us because you're an engineer or something.
Or something.
I don't know if you know how time works in science, but for you, Mordecai, it took
A day there could equal anything from minutes to years of time on the material plane.
Are you looking that up right now?
Yes.
Yes. So let's we'll find out what the timeline is right now. Okay. So it took you 20 seconds to climb from that leaf up and jump over. For him on the ground, it took 30, we'll say roughly 35 minutes for him to see you jump in. Does that make sense? So whatever the math is there, it's like, let's say 30 seconds compared to 30 minutes. What's the math there?
It's about 105 times.
105 times.
Oh, fuck.
35 minutes to 20 seconds, 105 times.
Oh, no.
Wait, so what are you trying to figure out?
So-
Is like how far ahead?
I'm fairly certain that Mordecai at this point is so far off ahead.
When I
that,
come
like-
back to the material plane, I'll experience a time warp
Well-
and I will fucking die.
I don't
So
think
you-
you die. Time is
35
relative.
35 minutes ahead of Hadron, right?
It's, but there's a time dilation. So the more time that it's kind of like space
My
flight.
head hurts. My head
Yes.
hurts.
I know, Russell. I'm sorry. So it's kind of like space flight. Like, if you're traveling the faster you travel at the speed of light, the slower time passes. Because math and science, it's kind of like that. So I'm trying to figure out, because essentially right now, with you going deeper into the woods, Mordecai, I think it's going to be hours by it would probably be hours by the time Russell, by the time that Hadron jumps out into the Feywild.
How much faster does time go? In the
I'm trying to think. So you said about 105 times speed, JD?
Yeah.
My brain is melting. Uh-oh.
So on the D&D Beyond forums, someone asked a similar question, saying, basing myself on the time warp rules for the Feywild listed in the Dungeon Master's Guide, I'd opted for a fixed ratio of 1 day on the Feywild equals 1 week on the material plane. However, this ratio effectively means that 1 year in the Feywild equals 7 years in the material plane, therefore 100 years equals 700 years.
Yeah. The math is not being kind right now.
So is the problem that I'm going to be older, or is it that I'm going to come down and I'm not going to know where anybody is?
It's just your body will age faster and relative to us.
I don't think it's how that works. Your body is relative, so you would age the same rate, but the time like the time difference between being in the Feywild and the Nine Hells is
time will have
different.
passed in the material plane. So it's
When-
like if I was
when-
stuck in stasis.
Yeah, you would come back and people would be older than you.
Yeah, that's okay.
So, but like I'm trying to figure out how do we salvage this situation as like as a group, right? So let's say,
God,
and this is kind of like the session. Let's just say the session's over, and we're trying to talk about how we can navigate this for next week. So,
okay.
Sorry for everybody at home that's getting confused on what's going on because I'm trying to.
Yeah. We're gonna cut the stream here and
Why?
figure out why.
I'm sure they wouldn't. Why not? I'm sure this is.
I'm here and
Yeah,
I'm confused about what's going
Yeah,
on.
Bongo just got here. It's fine.
Well, we can sit off camera and do
Yeah,
this.
that's fair.
You know.
That's fair.
So
We'll figure out something.
Yeah, we're gonna figure this out. We'll come back to you next week, 6:30 p.m. At our normal time. This week we had some scheduling issues, so next week will be Friday like normal.
My parents are in town tomorrow night, so
Heck
hello.
yeah! All
And I
right.
got a party for my kid this Saturday.
Yes, or I will see you then.
Mhm.
But thanks everybody for joining us. We're gonna try to figure some math out,
My mind is hurting.
100%. So until next week, say bye everybody. In a
Bye,
distressed
everybody.
in a distressed
I
way.
don't get paid enough for this.
Okay.
Oh no.
Bye everyone.